Hello, hello. I made a commitment to my friend Dell that I'd make one video every day regarding my personal journey. And hopefully, the reason I'm sharing this is to share insights and to help you. So what I've decided to do, and the word decide is very relevant, very important, because decide is, I think it's to cut off from any other option. Okay. So this year, I was the big 50. I know I probably don't look 50. I've still got the mentality of a child. I think to see the world through the eyes of a child is incredibly powerful. Okay, because we have all this stuff coming at us and conditioning and what we should be, what we should conform to, etc., etc. But when we have that playfulness and when we have that ability to go beyond just the everyday bill paying, stresses of life, dramas and karmas and all that, then we can have fun. Okay, we can have fun. So what I've decided to do going forward is to have a look at my life, where I am, where I want to go, and to document the journey. Okay, and on the journey as well, because I think I said in the first, well, I did say in the first one that why do we call this the human race? Like, why are we racing about? Like, in my eyes, that's crap. So it's the human family. We support each other. Okay, and one of the big things. So the other day, normally I'm really happy-go-lucky, but the other day I just felt out of sorts, like massively out of sorts. I take a lot of information on from different places and I try and sort of fit it in my jigsaw puzzle, and I'm open-minded to whatever might come my way. And 9 times out of 10, I can pretty much find a space for it, put it in there, and it sort of it helps me to navigate the world. Okay, but this new information came along and people were like, "What's up with you?" And I couldn't sort that out, but I did manage to sort it out. It took me about 2 weeks. But while I was in that state, I came across a book, and it's called Love Yourself as If Your Life Depends on It. So I'm going to go through that book, okay, because I know that we don't, as humans, we don't love ourselves, okay? So in the first video, I said everything's perfectly imperfect. So we are perfectly imperfect. We've all got our imperfections. Like, nothing's perfect. Like, people want this perfect life and this perfect thing and this perfect that and perfect this and perfect that. Newsflash, it doesn't exist. So when you come from a place of knowing that it's all perfectly imperfect, so humanity, this is only my take, as with mistakes, because at school we taught you're not allowed to make a mistake. If you make a mistake, it's like, oh, you made a mistake, and it's big cross, and everyone goes, you made a mistake. But humanity, to move forward through the mistakes and through our personal mistakes, is how we grow. Okay, so if we don't do anything, if we just stay there and like stay in the comfort zone, just the same Groundhog Day, there's no growth, there's no fun, and there's no like soul growth. So by doing something, by going out of a comfort zone, by putting that step forward, by taking that first step, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. And when we take that step, I think there's a quote that says something like, when you take that first step, things open up. I can't remember the exact quote, but things open up that are far beyond our rational brains. It's like spirit or the universe is working with us. And we have miracles happen in our life. And I've experienced over my life a lot of miracles. There was a point in my life where I was obsessed with making money. And then I'll come to that in future videos, but I surrendered. I completely surrendered. And I live day to day, and I take it as it comes. I live in the present as much as I can. And I've witnessed incredible miracles. Incredible miracles. For example, my car. I've had my car 10 years. I've just had a problem with my car. So I said I go spiritual church. So 2 months ago, oh no, so 2 weeks ago, I had a message from a medium who's a friend of mine called Brenda. And she says, you're going to need a new car. And at that point, I just spent £1,000 on my car, and I thought, probably not. I think it's all right. And she said, you'll be getting a camper van. Okay, that was her, I wouldn't say prediction, but that was what she told me. So 2 weeks later, well, a week later, my car, well, it was 3 days later, I took my car on a road trip to Wales to a camp that I go to called Conscious Camp. Conscious Camp, another video coming up on that. It's profound. I cried all the way home after that the first time. Absolutely incredible. And I will open that up and tell you more about that, so keep an eye out for that one. But when I was leaving Conscious Camp on the Monday, and some reason in my head, the word clutch kept popping in my head. Bearing in mind I spent £700 on a new clutch 13 months ago. Just the word clutch, and I was driving along, not even just doing my thing. And guess what? I got back into my town, so I'd done the whole journey nearly. I think it was like a 2.5 hour journey. And then an horrendous noise starts. And I knew what it was because last time that happened, I'd spent £700 for a new clutch. So, like, with regards to miracles, so I mentioned it to my daughter that my car was broken, blah, blah, blah. She told my my parents, my mum and dad, and they came back to me and said, like, we'd like to help you to get a car and give you some money to get a car. So from that, I was going to get a car. I was looking at a car, I found a car. I was really excited. I put a deposit on the car. But then for some reason, I ended up getting a camper van. It's not been converted yet, so that's another video we're going to do to get that converted and the travels and stuff. So stick around and we'll see where we go, and we'll see where we end up, and we'll see if more miracles happen, and we'll see if we can meet interesting people on the way that can share their stories. Because this is about the human family, and it's about coming together and being as one and having compassion for each other. When we help another, like my daughter, she won't like me for saying this, but she's struggling at the minute. It's kind of a long story, but it wasn't no fault of her own. But she's in a position where she's struggling financially. So we've just been to the food bank with my daughter. And the people there are selfless. Absolutely, completely selfless. And I think that by being selfless, because if we're all one, I think Jesus, if Jesus existed, he says, like, love thy neighbour as thyself. So if we do that, like, you're loving yourself. When we're having a conversation, you're watching me now. It's actually like a part of you that's talking to you. We're all one. The word remember is pulling the bits of yourself back together again. You're remembering. You're pulling the bits of you together to become one again. And be of the world, but not in the world. No, in the world. Yeah, be in the world, but not of the world. So see the world for what it is. See the illusion of it all. The Mayans said this is all illusion. And when you see that, and when, like I said in the last video, if you want to create a life, if you want your life to be a masterpiece, you have to master peace. And the only way to master peace is no matter what's going on around you, because this stuff will be coming at you left, right and centre. The same wind blows on us all. It's the setting of the sail that counts. It's when we change our stinking thinking and we see it for what it is. Because if we bless it, because if there is only divine perfection, it's the cosmic giggle. Like, we can look at it and just laugh at it. No matter how horrendous it looks and we label it or whatever, how horrendous it is, we look at it in retrospect and say, wow, that was the thing that catalyzed me, was the catalyst for me to become who I am. You're always becoming. You're always becoming more. And it's that soul growth, and we get that from mistakes and errors. I think it was the guy who was trying to create, I think I'm right in saying this, the world's strongest glue, and he was there and he was doing his thing and he was experimenting every day trying to make the world's strongest glue, made the world's shittest glue, excuse my language. But he had the, what's the word I'm looking for, he had the wisdom to understand that, hang on a minute, I've made the world's shittest glue, I was trying to make the world's strongest glue, but it's a massive, massive error on my part, but what can I use it for? Guess what he did? He created the Post-it note. Have you ever used a Post-it note? I bet you've got them in your office, in your house. Like, everybody, like, at one point, I would say, used the Post-it note. And he created that, and that was a massive mistake. So we learn from our mistakes. If we can have that wisdom as we move forward, that by trying and by doing, we grow and we develop. It might not be where we want to go, or it might not be the path or the goal that we set for ourselves, but it'll be somewhere maybe better. And it's just amazing. I'm going to leave it there. So the next video we're going to do, we're going to look at like my life, have a snapshot of that, and see what we can do to put some things in motion. I'm a big believer in being efficient. So what's the 3 top things I can change immediately that can have the biggest impact, and then just add on to that, and we'll just keep going from there. And you can probably take something from that, because you could look at your life and say, wow, it may not be exactly the same things that you do, but you can take a step out of my book a little bit and come along for the journey, come along for the ride, and let's see where we end up. So I'll leave that video there, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. And blessings. Have a good day.